welcome to go.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got anything on you? Anything I should know?
I got nothing.
Anything weird going on? What? All right, you go in, Tony.
Good. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly of The Tom Kelly Show. Yes, this is not the only time I've gotten on my knees in the back room of a comedy club.
The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. Give Two Eagles Auto Body a call and please ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. That's 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony on the Knockem Dead radio show. They're gonna keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, at Knockem Dead Comedy Radio.
Hey, Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus.
Hello! Do it like that.
Hello!
Yeah, like that.
Hello!
Not like that.
No, that was awful.
The one you did when I wasn't.
Hello!
Okay, save it for when it's on.
Sorry.
God, you know, I turn off the microphone, and you're like, gold. I turn the microphone on, and I get ah. Seriously, ready?
Hello! Damn, I was an idiot. Damn it. Hello!
That was it.
All right. This is the one. Hello! Hello!
Hello.
Hello!
Hello.
Hello!
Hello.
Hello!
So yeah, do it like hey. All right, you ready from hey?
Hey!
Now.
Hello! Hey!
Knockem Dead Comedy Show.
mean, this is real. We did it in real life.
Yeah, we're talking about the intro that we just showed of me and Bobby saying hello, hello. All that was real. That was all real. Hi, everybody. It is Wednesday, and welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Show. On right here, we're live on Gov's Comedy Club podcast, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching from. We ask that you share the link on all your socials. Tell everybody you know about all the great shows here on Gov's Comedy Club podcast. We are live from Governor's Comedy Club, and I'm sitting here right now with two legends, Michael Kaplan, of course, because it's Wednesday, and joining us is Bobby Donohue, frequent guest, part of the family, part of my family, who I'm trying to think, when was the last time I even saw you?
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Yeah.
I want to say last summer.
Yeah, I don't think it's been a full year.
No.
Well, define a while, because a while could be 20 minutes.
Well, that's why we just said maybe last summer. Mike, paying attention as always.
Yeah, I think it's been a long while. Is that
Too long.
Yeah,
you could say several months.
30 minutes.
too long?
How about that?
Or
Or?
not long enough.
Well, yeah. That depends on who you're talking to.
Also a possibility.
The comments are coming in already. If Tony brings up Joe Cocker one more time, I'm going to drive to Governor's, park my car, take a few breaths, and realize I'm overreacting and go home. And Romeo says hi. Hello, Romeo. I do not have anything Joe Cocker related today. But if we do get into music or the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I am definitely bringing him up. All right, just so you know. Before we go any further, I need to bring something up. Ladies and gentlemen, today is March 12th. It was 7 years ago today that this show started. He just can't. He has to take all the attention.
I'm
he
not
can't
taking it.
stand
I
the
gave
fact
it
that we're
to
not
you.
talking to him. Let me reach over while he's talking and distract him and take the. Just shut up and sit there. I was going to actually reel you in and talk about how you're connected to this anniversary, and now all I want to do is turn your camera off. Now is what I want to do.
Well, don't do that because I'm on it.
No, you're on a different camera.
Oh, then it's fine.
Exactly. It'll just be a black spot in
But
between
you're
us.
right. I'm not this close to him.
Yeah. Just like his head. It's just a big black spot in between his ears. So, 7 years ago today, we started this show here at Governor's. And I'm thrilled that I have these two gentlemen here with me because the show is called Knockem Dead, the Knockem Dead Comedy Show. Knockem Dead Comedy, we use that name because that is the name of our dinner theater business, which I started way back in 2002 with this clown right here, that guy. And then also, who better than to share this occasion with than my oldest friend, who has been we have been friends since we were 2 years old. I've only maybe lost touch once for maybe 5 years.
The year I turned 2.
That's right. The year you.
See, this is what happens when we talk before the show starts. Nobody gets that.
Nobody
joke.
has any idea what we're talking
no
about.
idea.
But that's the case too when the show was happening. They have no idea what we're talking about.
Also, the oldest friend.
My oldest friend, I've known him since
Well,
we
I'm
were
not,
2.
I'm
No,
not
I
the
know that,
oldest
but
person who's his friend.
He's not.
Right.
I've
he's
been
not
his
an old
friend
guy.
longer than you have, is what he means.
Right, because you're a lot
And
older
he
than
wants
us.
you to
so-
remember that.
No,
That's
what
right.
I'm trying to
That's
say
right.
is he's not an old person. But you said my oldest friend. So that if
He's
you-
been my
if
friend
you
longer
break-
than
if you
anybody
break
else.
That sentence down. That means what is he like? 98.
We've been on the air for, I think, 3 minutes, and he's killing me already.
I'm not killing you. I'm killing that fucking guy next to you.
That's what I'm talking about. Don't yell at me, you son of a bitch!
I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at him. Did you forget? Hey, asshole. I'm talking to you. Did you forget?
I don't listen. I don't.
Which
answer
asshole
to
are you
that.
talking to now? Him or me?
There's only one asshole in this room. in this room. And he's to your right. Or left. Or whatever
Left.
the fuck he is.
Yeah.
He's to your left. Did you forget the Twinkies?
No. First of all, he's the asshole. He's the asshole, Tony, because we both decided you love chocolate more than Twinkies.
Okay. You were supposed to present him with a candle. All right, for 7 years.
I forgot the
yodels.
fucking candle.
Oh, all right. So there he goes. He admitted he forgot the
Fuck
can.
it up, Tony. I apologize. All right, this was all set up for you. All right, but my messenger, all right, has other things on his mind.
Oh, what?
Okay, it looks like a triangle and it has a little fur around it. I think.
Whoa!
Yeah, but that's not a celebration. That's not a celebration. You should be ashamed of yourself, Kaplan. Kaplan, do yourself a favor. Go home. All right, let Tony and Bobby enjoy the show.
You got it. I'll see you.
Take care, man.
Jesus Christ! I apologize, Tony. Go on with the show. I love you.
I love you too, John. Thank you very much. Thank you, John,
like
for
this
the
chair.
for the well wishes. What's the matter?
That chair is lame. It's too wobbly. This one is stable.
That one is stable.
Has no armrest instead of
It's got more
piece
support,
of sharp
that chair.
metal that goes in my arm.
Well, yeah. Well, we've it's temporarily fixed. Richie Byrne is coming in here on Friday. Comedian Richie Byrne. He's the one who broke that. So I will yell at him. He's been yelled at in the past. He denies that he broke it, but I will yell at him again. So, 7 years since we started this show.
Wow.
Yeah. So Mike was with me in the very beginning when we started doing murder mystery shows, which is, well, we had a different name at the time, but it eventually became Knockem Dead Comedy. And then Bobby, Bobby's been, like I said, we've known each other since we were 2, and we used to like write our own little scripts and our little Star Wars episodes, which I'm sure they're terrible because we were like 7 when we did them.
I think they were great.
You think they were award winning?
The sound effects were definitely Oscar worthy. we used to go. All of us remember we'd get really close to the microphone and go.
Yes. See, he's not even paying attention.
You hit my phone. You know what I'm doing?
Let's go. You want to do it?
No, I'm trying to open up Knockem Dead Comedy and put it here so I can watch it.
Well, then turn your sound down because I'm trying to do a show.
Christ's sakes.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to be supportive. Like a jock
You're making a lot of like a jockstrap. Ann from California. Hi, excuse me. Hi, Tony, Magic Mike, and Bobby. Good morning, everyone. Magic Mike. How do you like that?
Thank you, Ann.
Ann likes to ride Harley Davidson motorcycles because it gets her off. It's the truth. It's the truth. Did you hear anything I just said?
I don't think you did.
I don't know.
I know. He's just like looking at me. Like, it's a blank stare.
I was just looking at something on the screen.
Oh.
See, that's me looking at the screen.
Now waking up.
And then realizing you're talking to me.
So, 7 years, and every day has been a free-for-all, a mess, basically. So thank you, everybody, for the support. Whether you've been in here, like these gentlemen have many times, or you've just watched, commented, whatever you did, the support is appreciated. I put it all on Facebook last night. I thanked all the former hosts, all the former regular guests, all the current co-hosts. Romeo says Dawn is pissed at you. You don't know why? He didn't say what. Why is Dawn pissed at Mike? Oh, you did it. Wow. To piss off Dawn. I mean, you have to do something pretty bad.
First of all, I don't agree with him.
You don't agree with him?
No.
How can you agree or disagree if you don't know what he's talking about?
Because I have an idea.
I just asked you if you know what he's talking about, and you said no.
It just popped in my head. Is that all right?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. I know why he's pissed, and I'm tired of him busting my fucking balls.
Oh.
Because she sent me something very nice. The charger.
Oh.
Did you get the charger?
Yes.
So I relayed it to him. I said, please thank Dawn, and I thanked. And I said, this thing's awesome, this, that, and the other.
Oh, so you said that to him to relate to her. Okay.
Yeah. So I guess he's probably pissed.
What?
He's pissed at everything that I fucking do. So
this went over my head. Why would he be pissed that you thanked Dawn?
No, that I didn't personally.
Oh. Well, so were you on the phone with him? Were you actually talking to him when you said thank Dawn for me?
Yeah.
All right, then, I'm going to put that on him. He should have said at that point, no, do it. You should do it personally.
Absolutely.
Because you would have. Well, why didn't you, though? Why didn't you just go straight to Dawn?
She might have been working. I don't remember.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough.
Recall.
All right. John, is that accurate? And if so, he'll call Dawn today.
She may have been away.
She was just away.
Yes.
She was actually up here.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe that's what it was. Although you still could have called her, just cell phone. But all right, no, yeah, I get it. Oh no, she's pissed because you didn't bring the candle today.
Oh.
So you were supposed to bring chocolates and
You just admitted a whole thing that wasn't even a thing. Now everyone's pissed about that.
is this
Dude, you just walked right
is
into
that is that Dawn or is this
Yes.
It is?
That's Dawn.
Uh-oh. All right. Should I just hand the phone over to him?
All I know is that I'm working from home today in the other room, and my husband is yelling at me that Michael fucked up the anniversary. So I'm checking to see if this is correct information. Michael, did you screw things up today?
Well, define screw things up.
First of all, let me say something.
You forgot to bring a candle.
Yeah,
and you forgot to make a nice presentation.
Let me tell you something. John does not rule me. Number one. Number one. Number two is I think this is very apropos for Tony Walker.
What? All right. So what was the plan that you guys discussed?
There was no plan. He told me, "Oh, you got to do this. You got to do this. You got to do that."
Okay.
So when I went to the store, I said, "You know what? I know he likes chocolate because we both decide you like chocolate more than Twinkies."
Yeah.
So when I went to the store, I got ring dings.
All right,
and I don't have candles.
Let's backtrack a second. When he said you got to do, did you say okay? I'll do those things.
No, I said it was a good idea to have a candle, but I didn't bring a candle.
Michael says okay all the time.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Because he likes to please people.
He is a people pleaser.
He is.
It's not a good thing to be.
So does that? But by saying okay, does that mean he should be held accountable for not coming through?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct.
All right. So
otherwise, he has to stand up and say, "John, all due respect, go fuck yourself. I'm not bringing anything."
I love hearing you say fuck. So, I
have to tell you, John brought that out in me. I've never cursed before I met John. So for the last 14 years, I'm making up for the rest of my previous life.
I have picked up on that, but he does bring out the worst in people. Absolutely. So, all right. So, what are the ramifications? Do we send him out to get a candle? Do we just slap him? Like what do we do?
Please send me out because I'm not coming back.
I think John would enjoy seeing you hit him, but I think it's better off if he goes out and gets a candle.
John enjoying the sight of me hitting Mike, that's a sexual preference that I have no desire to be a part of.
Yeah.
All right. So
I have to tell you, so yesterday was so funny. It's just a cute little quick story. So about 7 women and myself, or 7 women in total, are in the elevator coming down from the 6th floor at work. And this floor stops 1 floor down on 5. The door opens and a guy comes over to the elevator and walk in. He goes, "Whoa." And then one of the women say, "Come on in, we won't bite." So he comes in and he turns around and faces the elevator. He said, "I had a dream about this last night." And one of the girls said, "It's not going to be the same ending, buddy."
Well, and ending is a good ending. So I'm ready to put on the 70s porn music. Wow. I thought for a second that was my anniversary gift, telling this story. Wow.
Oh my goodness!
That's a great
happy anniversary, Tony.
Thank you, baby. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad. I'm glad Diane survived the trip down there. I was worried.
I love Diane. You have no idea. I felt so comfortable with her. It's like I felt like I knew her for years.
Yeah. She is. Just fantastic. Not a single negative thing to say about that lovely woman.
She's warm. She's friendly. She has the best smile.
Yes, she does.
It's just like everything just fell into place. It's like I saw my best friend.
Nice. Did she sing for you at all? I forgot to ask her that yesterday.
No, she didn't, but I did hear her sing on the show. She has a very lovely voice.
Yes,
I really enjoyed her.
Great voice. Well, she'll be back here tomorrow. I'm going to make her sing tomorrow.
Oh, yes, please. Cool. I don't get to see your show live, but John fills me in and then shows me the good points when I get home from work.
Fills you in and shows you the good points. Are we still talking about my show?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, because I tell him, I say, "Hey, how was the show today?" He's like, "It was great. Come listen to this."
Oh my! Wow, I'm sorry. You
and
must
so
be
he replays
sick
it
of
for me.
I get
No,
sick of
I'm
my
not.
own.
I love it.
Well, I appreciate that. I get sick of my own voice by Fridays. By Thursdays actually. So
you know, I'm really so happy with the friendships that have evolved with you and Diane and everybody. It's just, you know, you never know what life brings your way. And, you know, just being associated with you guys is just, you know, a blessing. So thank you for everybody being so special.
Wow, that was very nice. Thank you, Dawn. I appreciate that. And absolutely, being able to, become friends with you guys is definitely a blessing.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Sweet, you do this show on days I'm not here? I thought this was just a thing we did when I come out to see you.
Just once every few months.
I didn't know I should be listening every day. I didn't know this was a thing.
Well, I knew, because that's why I said, watch today's intro. Because I knew you had no idea. Oh, sorry. Did I just kick you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry.
Do you remember that day I called you in the middle of the show? And you're like, hey, what's up? And you're all like, da, 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 da. And then he hangs up the phone. And he's like, anyway, yeah, he died. It was very sad. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Why did you pick up the phone? I'm like going on about, I don't remember why I called, but I was like, hey, what's going on? Da, 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 da. He's in the middle of this sad story about a friend who passed away, and I felt like a heel. I'm like, why did you answer the phone? You knew
I do that to every time I get a call.
Listening. You knew I didn't know what was going on.
But I think I told you, as we were saying goodbye, I think, did I tell you or no?
You told me I knew before I got off the call.
Right.
And but I didn't know. You let me go. I was going for a little while.
I do get nervous, not with you, but sometimes I'll pick it up and I'll talk to people and I'm like, shit, I hope they don't say something they shouldn't say. You know, like, I don't know, use a derogatory term, or do you believe, what Mary said? But I don't think.
Well,
that's
I knew
happened.
you were live. You told me you were on the air. Because I called you because it was a Wednesday and I thought you weren't on the air on Wednesday.
Well, yeah, right, because that used to be.
Like, hey, what's going on? You're on the show. I was like, I am? Oh, well, blah, 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 blah. And we were just doing our thing. I think we even did the like, I think we did all of it.
Yes, right? I think we did.
But what I didn't know was that it was a somber moment.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No,
I can't find it.
You can't find what? What are you showing me?
I'm trying to log on to today's show.
Oh, you can't find today's show?
Yeah.
Whoops, okay.
And
You're on today's show. Where it's here.
Yeah, right, it's right here.
No, I want to follow it on my
What'd you do? Type in Knockem Dead Comedy?
Podcast. And some show with skulls came up.
Well, you wrote Knockem Dead Podcast. You left out the word comedy.
No, I didn't.
Look, Knockem Dead Podcast.
Oh. Knockem Dead Comedy.
And with no podcast.
All right, John Jr.
Well, I'm just telling you what I'm educating you to tell you what happened. I'm not yelling at you. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go Govs. You know why I do Wednesdays again? Do you know why?
I don't. I have no idea.
Because somebody asked me to.
Oh.
Who asked you? I didn't ask you. I think Rusiello asked you.
Well, it was a mixture. Because at the time Wednesdays was your only good day. You were doing what, Tuesdays with me?
Yeah, I was doing Tuesdays.
And then Tuesdays couldn't work out anymore, so yeah, you said Wednesday was your only good day at the time. Yeah. And then John said, yeah, you should be on 5 days a week again. I was like, fine, I'll do it. Even though it was such a nice thing to be off and recharge and catch up on things. But, this is what I do for people. And then I think it was like 2 weeks later, he was then available every day of the week.
This is kind of like a day off, isn't it? I mean, this doesn't really, you're not really putting your full effort into it, I don't think, today.
Well, can you blame me?
This isn't a journey moment,
Yeah, right.
I'm always afraid to just say that out of context.
Andrew Fremder commented, he says, you look like MASH. Which is the TV show, because of the you look like they're 10.
Green?
Let's see. I don't know who this is.
May I? Oh.
You're on the air. Who's this?
This is your favorite fat guy.
My favorite fat guy? I have so many.
Your favorite. one and only.
Yes, you are. You are definitely the. Yes, you're definitely the favorite. I almost said the fattest. I didn't want to do that. So you're definitely.
I'm definitely not the fattest.
You're definitely
anymore.
You're not the fattest, and you're also one of the healthiest people in the room on Sunday night.
That was last Thursday, actually.
Oh, that was last Thursday? Oh shit. You're right. It was last Thursday.
That was a good recovery, no?
That was fantastic. Let me fill these guys in. So there was a show here last Thursday, and in the middle of the show, some guy went into like a seizure or convulsions or something happened. We're hanging out back here. Mary Capone comes running out of the green room, and she's flying. So I yell, Mary, what's going on? She goes, something's happening. Just like something's happening. So we follow her out, and sure enough,
a lot of things.
Yeah, exactly. So tables are spread out. People are all over the place. Like 4 or 5 women jumped on the stage because some guy was having some kind of issue. We ended up having to call an ambulance and get the guy out. He seemed to be okay by the time. In fact, he didn't even want the ambulance. The ambulance said no.
Oh, so he was all right.
I wish I knew that would be a good time for me to call in.
Yeah.
So Fat Jay is the first comedian up on stage after that happens, and he says, he goes, for once, I'm not the most unhealthiest guy in the room. And the place just erupted.
What a great joke.
Yeah,
Great line.
it was fantastic. We were talking the next day because Rosie Fiumara, who was at the show and in here with me, she said, if it was her, she would have been scared. She wouldn't have known how to get the crowd back.
Yeah.
And Jay, I was actually standing next to Jay while this is happening. Somebody yells out, "Get this man some water!" So some guy runs, gets some water. He's bringing it back. As he's bringing the water in, he stops. Like, "Oh, hey Jay, how you doing, pal?" And then he calls his wife over. Look, it's Jay. Jay, you going up tonight? He's like, "Yeah, I'm up as soon as this fucking guy is done." It was hilarious. I was dying. And so Jay said that, brought the house down as he always does. Yeah, and then and it went from there, and it was a great night. So
that it does.
Yeah, Jay is fantastic, a good friend to the show, and we're happy to hear your voice, pal. What are you at work?
I am at work. I wanted to call and say congrats on 7 years.
You've been a major part of that, pal.
I appreciate you. I'm outside on that banner, and
that's right.
I can't thank you guys enough for having me. I love being on there. Kaplan smiling, which is a fucking rare occasion.
It's true.
I don't know who the other guy is. Is he a music guy? Because you like to have music guys on now.
He is not a music guy. He is an artiste. Well, he is. He does music. Yeah. He does music, but his main thing is an artiste, and he does. He designs and animates and writes a cartoon called Planet Bonehead.
Nice.
Yeah, and he's my oldest friend. I've known him since I was 2.
Tell him I said hello too.
All right.
And keep up the good work.
Right back at you, pal.
And give my boy John Rusiello a shout-out from me. And I'll see you soon.
Yeah, and hopefully you get down there so he can see you soon.
Hopefully, one day.
Absolutely, pal. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
Fellas, have a great day. Keep doing what you do. I love watching.
Right back at you, brother.
Later, Jay.
I'll see you soon.
All right, brother. Thanks.
Later.
Oh, that was nice.
That was very nice.
So I forgot. Now I'm going to write that down. Because he goes by Fat Jay, and I always forget his last name. Because he doesn't tell anybody.
It's Jay.
Yeah, right. First name is Fat. What's wrong with you? All right. It's been out of control since we started.
Yes.
So, Bobby is here, and I love when Bobby comes in, and I don't get to see him enough. But let's do it. I want to talk about Planet Bonehead.
Okay.
But before I do that, just in case, give people, just tell them, catch them up on what Planet Bonehead is.
Yeah, Planet Bonehead is a program for elementary schools to teach little kids in grades 3 to 5 about climate change, without the doom and gloom, without the we can't do this and we can't do that and we're all going to kill each other crap. It's basically I'm trying to teach them about the science of climate change, but more importantly, the science of green technology that is solving climate change. Like, we have the solutions to climate change. We don't have the political will to implement them. And you know what a good example is do you remember years ago all the talk about the hole in the ozone layer?
Yes.
How we're all going to die from that, and we're all going to get cancer and all that crap, right?
Yeah.
And you don't hear about that anymore. Do you know why?
No.
Because scientists figured out how to close the hole in the ozone layer, and instead of politicizing it and making it something to fight about, all the countries in the world just decided, hey, let's just do the thing the scientists said, and it closed, and it's not a problem anymore. Just like that.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Within our lifetimes, it became this tremendous problem and then went away. And
wow.
And climate change could be the exact same thing, but it's not. So that's what I'm trying to fix.
So
single-handedly, I might say.
And when you say, right. But when you say it's a program, because I always simplify it. I always simplify it.
Yeah.
I always simplify it by saying, I just say, it's a cartoon about climate, because that's not really the full picture.
Well, the cartoon is a part of it.
Right.
There are many parts to it. Well, 4. One of them is the cartoon, one of them is a song, and the other 2 are educational documentaries. So the first that's the meat of it. The first part is the problem, where we talk about this is what the problem is, and this is why it's affecting us, and this is why it's affecting you, and this is why it affects your town and your family, and blah, 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 blah. But don't worry, because the solution is the people in green technology who already have the solutions.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing with that part, that's like the real heart of it, is to inspire them to know, like, when you grow up, you can work in this field too, and you can be a part of this, and or you can do that. And then there's an assignment to, like, take the thing you just learned about that they're working on, and now design your own now, you know? And the song is an empowerment song. Like, go outside and do something right now. You know, you can do something at home and at school. You don't have to wait until you're a grown-up to be a part of the solution. You can do it right now.
The the green companies that you're talking about with the solutions, even that isn't like, we're not talking doom and gloom. We're not talking like major scientific, like you have to be a genius. Like you're talking simple, almost some simple ways, but some of it's even kind of fun ways.
Some of them are simple. Some of them are highly complex. I mean, there's alternative energy things. Like I know a guy who invented this engine, and it's like insane. It's amazing. But my favorite example is a company out of the UK called Hughes Energy. And
Whose Energy?
Hughes Energy.
Hughes?
With an H.
I know. I was just trying to be
I
like,
know.
who's on first? Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay.
I got the joke.
Yeah. I got the joke too. I just pretended.
I know you did.
I saw some video you just did. You just did an interview like a month or two ago. Was his name Peter or something? Something with a W was his last name.
I did a bunch of podcasts.
Oh, all right. This guy had an English accent. He was
Yes. His name is Sid.
Oh, I was close.
Yeah.
So
No, that one hasn't come out yet. Who are you talking about? Oh, I know who you're talking about. Oh, darn, I can't remember his name. It doesn't matter.
Something with a W. I remember a W being in there. I think in the last name. But this guy, I think it's only like 2 or 3 minutes in. He asks you some question.
Yeah.
The question itself goes on for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And he's asking all sorts of technical stuff. Like, it's complete. I have no problem admitting this is a Hicksville education. Completely over my head. Right. I have no idea what he asked you. And as soon as he finally finished the question, you went like that. And I started cracking up. And then you gave a decent answer, but then, of course, it ended with, and stuff like that. I'm like, yes, exactly.
Did I say that?
Yes, you did. And I meant to grab the clip and bring it in to show it, but I lost track of time. And I didn't get to.
Oh, that's great.
But that's exactly what just happened here.
That's
exactly what just happened here. Yeah,
because it's all in my head, and I'm just like, it would. Do you have 6 hours? Because I could get it all out in that time. But it's like something like that. Just plug right in and let's just give the juice over, because I don't have time to articulate this stuff.
Now, all right, so you're talking about the ozone layer and how they politicized it and fought about it. and I'm asking, really, because I have no idea, because, my head is not in that world.
Yeah.
Is that, because you're talking about climate change, is that still, like, are people still fighting? Are there people that are still saying that's not true? It's not happening, or is it just well accepted fact by now?
Well, it's well accepted fact, except for how political are you getting?
Well, right, but I'm trying not to get political, but
it's well accepted fact. How about this? It's well accepted fact with just about everybody. The only people who dispute it know that they're being disingenuous.
Okay,
how about that?
Okay, all right, that works. The
normal people are confused.
Normal people are confused.
I'm talking like the people in the general population,
Like
who,
the average,
like the average person who is just like, no, climate change is blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
They're genuinely confused. They're not being disingenuous or
Gotcha.
sinister or anything like that.
Right.
There's just too much misinformation that people just don't know because they're not spending all day every day working on it.
Right.
They're doing their thing. They come home. They got dishes to do. The kids are yelling and screaming, and they're just like, climate. Oh Jesus, I can't think about this.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So if somebody's telling them it's a hoax, that fits into the narrative that they want to live in, and that's okay.
All right. That's the question. So is that still an argument?
It's completely still an argument.
Okay. That's yeah. So regardless of who's arguing it,
we could fix it tomorrow.
Okay.
We do not have the political will to do it.
Right.
As a we don't have enough power to just get everybody on board because the people who have decided that it's better for them to be against it because they gain political power and they get money.
So in
no, go ahead.
There was no fossil fuel industry against the ozone layer closing. There was no big aerosol can industry. If they were a big aerosol can industry at the time, because that's what it was aerosol, so they changed how we make cans for hairspray and shit. If they were a big aerosol can company, the ozone layer, there'd be no more ozone and we'd be dead from radiation from the sun.
Right.
But there was none, so nobody cared. It didn't uproot, but there's an oil industry and a coal industry.
Right.
And you got everybody's just like they're saying now, you gotta drill baby drill and all this shit. It's okay. Let's do it. And when we're living in silo world, then talk to me then. And
Which is a good show on.
It's
Apple
an awesome
TV.
show. I love that show.
Yeah, that's a good show.
And Severance, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Silo is an awesome show.
You got to get Apple TV Plus and watch Severance and Silo.
Silo is
and then I'll come back and we'll talk all about that.
Okay. May I interject? I have a couple.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I was doing work. It's actually a microcosm and not getting political at all, but it is a microcosm, climate change and all that.
Yeah.
In our country, everything's so divided.
Yes.
So with that said, I have a question though, and I know the answer because I've spoke to pilots who fly Air Force planes, who they say chemtrails exist.
Yeah.
Right? Do you believe in chemtrails? It's just a vapor. They think they're actually chemicals that come in. The white stuff that you see out there, it's just a vapor from the engine.
It's from the airfoil off the wings,
right?
And the water vapor in the air.
Exactly.
It's a cloud. It's basically.
There's a conspiracy going on that it's chemicals.
That they're just dumping chemicals everywhere.
Yeah.
But
Did you know about that?
I have heard about that.
You have heard about that.
But everything's a conspiracy
you're
theory
up on
now.
current events. That's pretty good.
I pretty much that's all I heard.
Oh,
because I choose to be naive and ignorant. But that's exactly why though, because everything there's conspiracy theories about everything.
Because
and it's clouded.
You hear it, we have these silos on social media that just echo it and make it, and you hear more about it and more about it than you ever would have before Facebook and Instagram and things like that.
And I love social media. I love the fact that we have the internet. You can get instant answer. In fact, we were doing that before we went on the air. We were trying to figure
Harrows,
out.
by the way.
Harrows.
Like the pool like the
it is the same. It's the same place.
Every Christmas they would have the Christmas tree things, and we were telling our kids how amazing this place was. Oh, the displays and the elves and the this and the that, and we took them there, and they don't do that anymore. So the kids were like, "This is great."
Now I remember that, but I don't remember going that often. We used to go there all the time, or every year.
I went every day.
Wow.
In July.
No. I remember going a few times as a kid. I don't think it was a yearly tradition or anything like that.
But these things were for sale because I remember out near me. I didn't live in Hicksville.
Yeah. God, we didn't want you there.
Out in Bohemia or something. Harrows had a big display, but all those things were for sale.
Yeah, no, everything was for sale, but they would have this, when you walked in the door, you had to walk through like an aisle that had the animatronic elves and stuff.
Yes.
And, when you're 5 years old, it's like, oh my God, Rudolph, and I loved it.
Yeah,
and so my kids at the time were little, and we wanted to show it to them.
Yeah.
What?
What did you just say?
Yeah.
I was terrified.
Of what? The Christmas display?
Yeah, first of all, I've never been a fan of Christmas, as you know. Well, no, but maybe that's part of it because the animatronics when I was small, they were huge. So you'd walk in this.
Yeah, it was
barrel,
life size.
Yeah,
they were big.
Well, they were big. It was intimidating for a little fella. What's the matter? I can
understand being intimidated.
Yeah, I was.
Don't encourage him.
I'm
not encouraging.
I don't have to be
No, him. I'm talking to him.
I don't
Don't
have to
encourage
be here
you.
next Wednesday. This show doesn't exist in my world until the next time I grace you with my presence.
Well, it's graced when you're in the opening credits there. Kevin Costner and Waterworld hurt climate change.
Where do you see that? I don't even see that.
Scott wrote that.
Oh, but I never answered your question with the Hughes Energy thing because you said about simple or complex stuff.
I'm listening, yes.
So this
There
company,
it is.
Hughes Energy, came up with a way to take garbage out of a landfill and you put it in what's called an autoclave. It's basically a giant metal cylinder.
Okay.
And they use pressure and temperature. And this is all Jules Verne 1800s technology. Like they didn't invent anything like it's... And you put it in there and in 1 hour... it turns it into this fibrous material that's called Wilson fiber after the man, Tom Wilson, who invented this process.
I thought it had something to do with Castaway.
No. And,
Wilson! Sorry.
It's called Wilson fiber! And you can process the Wilson fiber and turn it into a coal substitute, a wood chip substitute, and
Really?
a petroleum substitute for oil or gas. And they burn clean. So not only do we make a renewable, sustainable fuel that burns clean out of it, but we make it out of garbage, which we never stop producing.
Right.
You know? So it's like killing two birds with one stone, except the birds get to live in this scenario.
Well, and like you said, because there's so much money involved. I mean, I truly believe there's a cure for cancer. Conspiracy theory, which I don't consider myself a big conspiracy theory guy, but that is the conspiracy theory I have in my head, that they know exactly what needs to be done for cancer. They just don't because there's too much money involved. The insurance companies, the doctors, it's crazy.
Big pharma is.
Exactly.
It's one I would believe if somebody said, hey, look at this, we proved it. I'd be like, yeah, that tracks.
I mean, but
I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it.
Well, that's right. That's exactly the difference of what just happened to you. You're actually talking about facts.
Yeah.
Somebody that actually has this technology.
Yeah.
And it's
the
perfect
technology.
technology.
And that's just one example. Like there are so many. We
Now,
could solve it 15 times over.
But that one that you just brought up sounds perfect. Has he actually done it?
They're doing it.
They're actually doing it.
It's just to get it done at scale, at
Right.
a level where it should be at every landfill in the world.
So when you say they're doing it, like
they opened a prototype one, and they're proving the concept. You know what I mean? And they need funding, and they need.
Oh, okay. That's
there's so many things.
Okay, I'm glad I asked because when you said they're doing it, I'm picturing like, I don't know, some town somewhere in the United States where they're actually taking their garbage and doing this.
They're,
you know
they're
what
probably
I mean?
in the United States by now. I know they were coming to the United States, but they were starting in UK. Maybe
Like it's
also
past
Ireland,
the
'cause she's in
test. It's
Dublin.
past testing. Like it's actually.
No, they know this works.
Yeah.
Now it's
okay.
just a matter of
That's what it was.
getting the political will behind it to make it a thing. But, you know, who wants to say, yeah, let's get rid of oil and coal and use this instead? Nobody. Nobody wants to say that.
Right.
It's too much money.
It's a fine line to talk about this stuff without getting political.
Yeah.
But so I will say, to have something like that, and to even have universal health care, like instead of, I personally think we're paying more for all these things, like fuel even, where if it was just a part of our taxes, and we wouldn't have to pay for it separately out of our pockets, I think we'd all be saving money, and I just think it's the way, personally, it's just the way to go. Especially the healthcare, I can go on all day about. It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
How much money people have to spend for just basic healthcare. And you know, and the whole thing lately with Social Security's been, on the chopping block, and when we all, when people retire, this shouldn't even be a worry. Your healthcare, all right. So I can go on all day with that. All right, but again,
I can feel my blood boiling.
Yes. Well, and I'm going to boil it even more.
Oh no!
Because one question I have, I was looking at the website,
the
Planet Bonehead website.
Yeah.
There was some, and who knows? I don't know how long it's been there. I don't think it's been that long since I looked at the website, but there was something there that I hadn't noticed before. Social justice education.
Yeah.
Like that, I was like, oh.
That's relatively new.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, or tell us, what your definition of social justice education is, how it connects to climate change, and how you're working it into Planet Bonehead. And then we'll see you in 45 minutes.
I'll do it in
question.
2 minutes, and I'll end it with and stuff like that.
Well, then I'll understand it.
The general overarching answer is that the issues surrounding climate change generally tend to affect marginalized people more than rich white people. First of all, rich white people have the ability to pay money to sort of remove themselves from problems.
From anything.
If I live in a place like we live on Long Island, so if climate change continues, it's probably not going to, it may not happen in our lifetime, but it probably could happen in my kids' lifetime, certainly my grandchildren's lifetime, where Long Island could be underwater. Just gone. Underwater.
Within our grandkids' lifetime?
Within our grandkids' lifetime.
No
It's happening. It was like, or at least where we see it is an irreversible thing coming.
Did you know Hicksville is the highest point of Long Island?
I did not know that.
Yes,
I thought that it was Stony Brook.
And I thought it was a park in Huntington.
I thought it was my house.
Or Bald Hill.
I have a fucking plaque in my front yard.
That's why I moved there. I read that it's Hicksville. That's what I read.
I don't know.
I read that years ago, so I don't even remember the source. But it wasn't somebody's post on Facebook like it was an actual
Actually,
article.
I thought it was either Stony Brook or I thought it was Bald Hill, because every time I go, I could see so far. But
true.
Who the hell knows?
Anybody know? Anybody know? Feel free to throw it in the comments.
If only we had the world's knowledge in our hands.
What'd
I
you
could
say?
Google it, but who knows?
Andrew Fremder said, if Tony were president, he'd have Mike in his cabinet.
Yeah, put stock in the food, the kitchen cabinets.
So social justice is just that the marginalized peoples. There are the poor. Africa is like going to be decimated and hit first and hardest. And they have no control over it because they can't say, like, we'll just stop using fossil fuels. They're not even up to the part where they have coal production and oil production.
Right, and it's the fact that everybody's doing it. It's affecting the whole world,
it's
right?
Countries like the United States and the first world countries that have been doing it for so long that we're affecting it, but we're not the ones who are going to suffer first, And then even within first world countries, even within the United States, when part of it, like the thing that happened in Detroit with the water. A few years ago, the water was contaminated with lead in Flint, sorry, not Detroit, Flint, Michigan, and it hit the poorest people the hardest.
Yeah,
because the richest people could just be like, well, I'll just buy bottled water until then, but poor people can't. They just can't.
Right.
You know what I mean? They rely on things. So
I was right.
So social.
Oh, it's Stony Brook?
No,
it's Bald Hill.
No.
He said
it's Janes Hill in West Hills Country Park near Melville, which is in the town of Huntington. I knew that because I worked for the town of Huntington, and it was.
Yeah, I was there once. I was looking down on Hicksville. I remember.
And your house, my house, and Tony's.
He's been looking down on Hicksville when he was still living there. He was looking down on Hicksville.
No, I was just completely unfamiliar with Hicksville.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I never really looked down on it.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to.
That.
Yeah.
401 feet above sea level.
Oh, okay.
And
Yes.
John Ruscio says the highest point of Long Island is Jane Hill. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't claim that
My
I was.
house is 400 and a half. Damn.
Carol's watching. Happy anniversary, morning boys. Been so long since we've seen Bobby on. Yeah, too long, Carol. It's me is watching. That's Gina. Hi, Gina. Thanks for watching this morning. Good to see you. All right. So social justice. I was thinking social justice. I'm thinking, George Floyd. Type of.
That's in the same vein.
Right.
Except that this is how climate change affects. There's racism in climate change, because if climate change were going to hurt rich white people, we'd be fixing it tomorrow. But it's not.
But I would think that they would find a way to the fat cats would find a way to make money off of it.
But they're already finding a way to make money without fixing it. So
okay.
Why change?
All right.
It's inertia plays. I'm already making a lot of money with coal and oil. I don't why it's so hard. I gotta do things. We gotta train. I gotta refit the factories. I gotta do this. I gotta do that.
Right. Yeah.
I don't wanna.
Wow. and so all right. And then so how are you throwing that in with Planet Bonehead? Like have you changed anything?
The problem documentary that I talked about is usually associated with the social justice issue. So what I'll do is I'll talk about the problem and how it affects you and how it affects different kinds of communities and who's affected the most and who's going to be affected now and who's going to be affected later. And then the lesson plan, the assignment is to maybe it's write an essay or it's to make an art collage or something like on a third, fourth grade level. Obviously this isn't like college level where we're going to, write a thesis on this.
But you mentioned before doing it without the doom and gloom. Like you're able to bring up problems like this without being too gloomy and doomy?
I can.
Really?
I'm awesome, dude.
You see how hard I'm laughing?
Well, okay, so climate change without the doom and gloom. Most of the time, climate change, when you hear about it, if it's on the news or something like that, it's all the bad news.
Right, yeah.
Sea levels are rising. We've already reached 1.5 degrees C. There's no going back, blah, 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 blah. We're all going to die, and everybody's fighting. Nobody agrees on anything. It's a hoax. All this shit, right? So I'm not really bringing that into it. You have to explain the problem to the kids. But I don't do it in a way like, oh, by the way, you're probably going to be dead before I don't make it sound like it's going to hurt them tomorrow. But I make them understand that this is important, and they get that. Kids innately get that. When you show them how beautiful the planet is and like this species or this area of the world and stuff like that, hey, should we destroy this or should we make it stay nice? It's not even a question in their heads. Like, what are you talking about? Destroy it? Why would we do that? What's the point?
Sure.
Well, money and oil selling. Well, who gives a shit? Just let's do this windmill thing instead, or solar. They don't have all the baggage that comes with it, Well, no, because solar is too expensive or whatever crap we come up with that for excuses why we can't do it. They'll just say, so do it this way, and they'll draw a picture, you know what I mean? And they'll come up with an idea. And maybe that idea isn't doable today, but we grew up watching Star Trek, remember?
I do.
Yeah. Captain Kirk had the flip phone communicators. And kids watching that show in the 60s and 70s, we didn't watch it live, but we watched it in reruns. Kids watching that show in the 60s and 70s were like, I want one of those. And the engineers who made it in the 90s were Star Trek fans. They made flip phones specifically because they wanted one from watching Star Trek. That's why they did it. That's why people at NASA are working on warp engines. Star Trek inspired that.
But they're not beaming us up to other planets yet. Sons of
I don't
bitches.
think beaming is a thing.
Well, then I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, but because you gotta destroy every particle in your body and rebuild yourself with other atoms at the other place. So technically, you're dead. And I don't know if beaming is ever going to be a thing, but warp can be because it's not breaking the laws of physics in theory.
Yeah.
The idea is you can't go faster than the speed of light because you're breaking the laws of physics, but you can. But space itself expands faster than light because it's not a thing. It's not a particle moving. Matter can't move faster than light, but space can expand faster than light. So what a warp drive does is it pulls the space forward and shoots it back faster. So the ship itself is not moving faster than light. The ship could be even stationary in the warp bubble. The warp bubble is being pushed through expanding space faster than the speed of light. That's how a warp drive works. We don't know how to do it, but we know that technically Einstein would say, yeah, okay, I like that.
And stuff like that. Scott says this podcast is plummeting Long Island real estate by the second. GD is watching. Hello, GD. We had this very discussion about ecology and our future. What, on Coffee with the Dog? When? Today? Friender, I feel a drill baby drill every time I bend over to pick up the remote to watch the news. Oh, my goodness.
I sometimes feel weird laughing at the comments people say on your show.
You feel weird to laugh? Is that what you're saying?
Is it okay? I don't want to not laugh, but then I'm like...
You don't want to encourage them?
I don't want to encourage it. Like, I don't know what he meant by that, but I'm guessing.
You're guessing right.
I'm guessing right.
Yeah. That's the level of this show and the people who watch. How we've been able to sustain 7 years, I have no idea. Well, that's probably why I've been through so many co-hosts and, that's why I'm the only one that has stuck around here like an idiot. Yes, today, says GD. So you guys were talking about it today. What did you say about it? I love the timeline on the Planet Bonehead website.
Yeah, I like that too, right? That's a good story.
How do I get the comments in?
It was there.
Dude, the show's going to be over.
Yeah, I know. It was there. What'd you do?
I don't know. I think I swiped it off. Yeah. Sorry.
All right. No, I can't get it to... I can't even get it... I need it to come back this way. I need it vertical.
There's like 3 comedy shows going on here.
Yeah,
there's one for them. There's one like among here, and then there's just one that only we see and nobody else is.
Tony and I have been doing this so long.
Yeah, it's weird. Where are the comments? What'd you do? All right, I'm getting rid. Where's YouTube?
Oh, just go to Friday. Oh,
what?
Sorry. No, just go down.
Did you hear that?
Yeah,
What?
we have our own language.
That was a language?
Yeah.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah, there you go. See, there it is.
Oh, jeez.
There, what is?
There's.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, pal.
All right, now leave it alone. And there he goes.
No, because I like.
Oh, you got it.
I like it sideways.
All right, but everything is still there?
Everything is there. Ava, you're so pretty, Tony.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Because Ava said it.
No, you don't get it. It's a joke. You're so pretty.
Is it an inside joke between you guys?
Not really.
So explain the joke to me then.
It's like, you're so pretty. It's like, you understand?
She's telling me how dumb I am.
Not necessarily
That's how I
dumb.
took that.
No, not necessarily dumb. A little naive, like, you're so pretty, Tony.
Oh, wait.
I know, isn't it great? Oh, God. Can I pick my nose?
You can. Nothing's stopping you.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I like the timeline. I thought that was.
Sideways.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I like it too.
How's it going? Is it still branching out among a lot of schools?
Yeah, I actually have more distributors than I used to.
Oh, okay, great.
And so now I have I picked up a distributor that's in the UK and Australia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're there now. And then I got another distributor that's in the US and 86 other countries. So
Did you say 86?
86 other countries. So they're a global distributor.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so they're bringing Planet Bonehead global.
So are you close to being one of those rich white people?
I'd like to be. And then,
yeah.
Except the problem is then I'll stop making the show. I'll make it about how great coal is.
Yeah, exactly. You still do a lot of testing throughout, they do, test audiences.
Like the focus groups.
Yeah, the focus groups, yes.
Nah, I don't do that stuff.
Oh, you don't do that?
No.
No, wait a minute. Are we talking, there was one of your distributors, this is going back a few years, was taking it out and showing the cartoon to kids. That's not the focus group.
That was us, ourselves. We were doing that. That was Patty was doing that when she was a part of the Planet Bonehead.
Oh.
She was bringing it to Charleston school districts. And they
Okay.
were working with the school district. Charleston made it part of their science curriculum at the time.
Right.
And,
Oh, wow.
But I never did that. I was the one making the show. She was the one bringing it out there to these people.
And she's been gone, what, probably 10 years at this point,
like
right?
12 years now.
Wow. It's been that long ago?
No, sorry, 11 years.
No, that's okay.
I just want to finish my point.
No,
the reason
course.
why I was asking all this is because when they were doing that, they found that Pa Fossil was their favorite character.
A lot of kids loved Pa Fossil. I'm going to be honest with you.
That's my
Pa Fossil is my favorite character. He really is. He really is.
You created all these characters?
Oh, yeah, Bobby created them, yeah.
Wow.
And it's a lot of fun. But, yeah, voicing Pa Fossil
I came up with
so
the idea.
fun.
Pa Fossil is alive,
that's
but he is
you.
because of Tony's voice.
Nice.
Like, Tony made Pa Fossil what he is. We tried to have him make the announcer also, but he couldn't do it. But I was too strict on what I wanted you to do. I wanted you to do it the way I was
It's your
doing it.
baby, man.
Yeah.
I get it. I totally get that. And I don't even think you were that strict, to be honest with you. But yeah, Pa Fossil, I was just having fun with it to mess with you.
Yes.
And we would just end up laughing our balls off.
We did. It's so much fun.
And it's
I want
kind
to
of
make
related.
more. I'm planning on making more in the future, but
I was thinking when we were talking about days for you to come in, that was the first thing that came to my head was, like, I don't remember how, like, the last time I did voice him, and it actually kind of scared me a little bit. Like, I'm not even, like, to try it now, like, I think I'd really have to practice to get it right.
you could listen back and
you
get it in 2 seconds, but.
Yeah, maybe.
But even then, you weren't that good at it. We had to do a lot of takes.
Well, now it'll be easier with AI. It'll be a lot easier to work on it.
Actually, I could probably just take your old recordings, plug them into an AI, and skip you altogether.
It'll go much smoother for you.
Wow, this is much better.
I'm finished in 2 hours instead of 8.
Question.
What's that? You have a question?
Who's GM Fenderson?
I don't know.
Oh.
I know who GD Fenderson is.
Oh, maybe. I don't have my glasses on.
After all that, you can't even see the comments.
No, I could see them.
Apparently you can't
read them.
No, I can.
GD Fenderson.
All right. What are you hollering for?
GD Fenderson hosts Coffee. Is one of the co-hosts of Coffee with the Dog, which is on every morning.
Thank you,
at
Carol.
9 a.m. Are you listening to me? I'm answering your question, and there you are now talking, having your own conversation.
I can multitask.
No, you can't. What did I say?
You said I should be one of the voices.
That's not even close.
I'm going to take that phone. I'm going to throw it out into the parking
That's
lot.
what Carol Miner said.
All right, great. Which we could have gotten to next.
Okay.
Yeah. So what did I say? You don't even know.
No.
You asked me a question. Why would you ask me a question if you didn't care about the answer?
I didn't ask you a question. I was reading.
You asked, who is GM Fenderson?
Yes.
GD.
And I was trying to answer you, right. And you weren't listening.
Oh,
You said GM. You said it.
Of course it's GD. You think I'm making it up?
No, I'm sorry, but from my vantage
I'm cracking
point,
myself up over here.
without my eyeballs, it looked like something else. I apologize. I apologize.
Who's ever calling, I'm not taking the call. It says private name. I don't answer the phone unless it has your name. Sorry. I've been burnt a little too many times, so not answering. So sorry, whoever you are. If you want to put it in the comments that it's, whoever you are is calling, if you want to put in the comments that it's you, that's fine, then I'll answer you. But
What do you mean burnt?
So a few months ago, Joey Cola, great comedian, came into this show, and a guy called, said his name was Charlie, and he was so rude and mean to Joey and me. But Joey handled it very well, and Joey said he wanted to talk to him and handled it and spoke with him. But that guy has called many times since, and he's very nasty. And he does watch the show because he definitely knew. He was referring to stuff that you would only know if you watched the show. And he called my daughter retarded. Yeah. And that's when I was like, all right. And I did. I lost it, and I cursed this man out. I guarantee it's him. I guarantee you it's him. You're on the air. Who's this?
Hi.
Charlie.
No, it's Frank. My name is Frank.
Frank who?
Yeah, I know. I saw you guys on
yeah,
YouTube.
it's Charlie. It's Charlie. Charlie, go fuck yourself. asshole. It just yeah, it gets me. Yeah, Carol knew. She's like, don't answer. Sorry. Mike would be a good voice for an iguana that hasn't slept in weeks.
And Mickey says, Mike, you're a real dick. You need to
listen to Tony.
I was kind of interested to see what he was going to say about me.
No.
No?
You don't want to know.
All right.
It's brutal. I never understood trolls, guys who don't have anything better to do but upset
I put
people.
a song on once, and on Facebook once, and I made a video for it, and it's just a rock song, nothing to do with anything else.
Yeah.
And people comment. I never understood people who have negative comments. You post something, you don't know me. Somebody wrote, "You are objectively bad at music." I was like,
my goodness,
that's not even true. I mean, hey, this is a good song, and you don't like it. It's fine.
Right.
It's okay that you don't like it.
Thanks, Charlie, for causing me to turn the phones off now. But that's the thing. Even if it is a bad song, like, why do you have to take the time to make to say that?
It didn't hurt my feelings or anything. I just, to your point, I didn't understand what's going on in your day,
right?
That you hear this song, go, oh fuck this shit,
right?
Right. What happened there?
I've told the story before on here. We did a show almost 2 years ago in a restaurant, and there was a woman in the audience. This woman was miserable from beginning to end. She showed up that way, and I get it. No comedian, no TV show, no rock band has everybody.
Right.
So I get
true.
it. People come to one of my shows and they don't enjoy it. It's not their cup of tea. I get it. But this woman did. She walked in miserable. She complained about the food. She complained about the service. She was a dick to us throughout the show. Sure enough, the next day she went on Google Review and was it Facebook or Yelp? I don't know. She went on 2 different platforms and just went after the whole thing. And we knew it was her. She even actually said in her post where she was sitting. So we knew. We were like, oh, yeah, it was that miserable bitch.
Yeah.
But she went on about, and the murder mystery, they said this and they did this. And at one point, they said that they lost their place. And they were laughing throughout the whole thing. And I'm like, so I commented. I was very polite about it. But I said, I have to let you know this. I lost my place, and us laughing, that's what we do. We break the fourth wall regularly, and we laugh along with you guys.
Part of the beauty of what that.
I think so.
So I do.
And I lost my place. I told her flat. I admitted it to her. I said, that's a stock ad lib. I said, I write and direct and perform. I know exactly where we are at all times. I said, almost everybody except you, laughed when I said it. And that's why it's a stock ad lib. I use that ad lib in every single show that we do. And it gets a laugh every time, which is why it became a stock ad lib.
I think it's fun. It's hilarious.
I was believe me, I was definitely a lot more politically correct and nicer than I am with it now. But then I finally said to her, look, I'm sorry that this wasn't your thing. I get it. I understand that. What I don't understand is why you now have to go on social media and make it sound like we gypped you somehow, or we deliberately conned you in some way. Mm-hmm. We didn't con you. We did what we normally do, and a lot of people like it. A lot of people don't. I get it. And then she even complained about the price for the event, and I said we didn't. That's the venue. We don't make those decisions. So it wasn't like. We sold you a lemon for an expensive amount of money.
Yeah.
We didn't gyp you. You just didn't like it. So now you're making it sound like we gypped you, and now what you're doing, you're deliberately coming after us. We didn't deliberately come after you. You just didn't like what you saw.
Right.
But you're doing exactly what you're complaining about by coming after me, coming after the company, and coming after my livelihood.
Did she ever answer you? Why?
No.
Oh, she didn't.
No, and I copied and pasted it. So on both places she posted. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't just keep scrolling, even on Facebook. Why do you have to fight? I do think it's gotten better on social media. I think when it first came up, like when Facebook really took off in like the mid 2000s, and us older guys were all joining it.
Yeah.
And we didn't know better. We were all definitely stronger keyboard warriors then. At least I think so.
Yeah, but why mess with someone's livelihood?
When I see a thing and I don't like it, I just
just keep scrolling. That's it.
I don't even hit the down arrow, the down thing on YouTube.
No, I don't do anything.
I never do. I just move on.
I might hit all comments just so I can, be an innocent bystander and watch everybody fighting.
Yeah.
I do a little bit of that sometimes just to see how people are picking on each other.
Yeah.
But I don't hit anything. I don't show any reaction. It's almost like I didn't see it. I just keep scrolling. Maybe it's an age thing too.
And I think it's because we're creators. We know better than to knock
Oh, that's
somebody
interesting.
trying to do their thing.
That's an interesting.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way.
I never thought of it that way.
I wouldn't knock somebody's YouTube channel because I didn't like their video.
No.
I'd be like, this sucks.
Right.
I wouldn't do that. It's not my thing. I'm allowed to go somewhere else, and watch somebody else's YouTube channel. And when I find one that I like, I'll subscribe and I'll give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, of course.
I'll never give it a thumbs down, and I would never say I didn't like it. And I think it's because we are creators that we don't do that.
That's a good point.
I know, I said it. Thank you.
Talking about climate change is technically making the planet warmer, says Scott. That's pretty funny. Fremder just had to rephrase this. Apparently, I can't use the word caller, coat hanger, and the word masturbation in the same sentence, or else it gets deleted. Oh, in the same sentence, yeah, okay. That Fremder said something that made sense to me. All right. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, you're the perfect guy to have in here today.
I know.
I have a complaint actually. We were talking about it we were talking about Apple.
Yeah.
Before we went on the air about how they're making changes and stuff. Well, yeah, it just came out. I just read an article this morning. They're going to drastically change their operating system, and like the whole design of it is going to change the whole works. But I had an Apple issue, and you're a tech guy, so like I said, I wanted to grab the clip of you doing this interview with this guy. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was on my list of things to do this morning. Like, all right, I got to, download the clip. I'm going to throw it in iMovie so I can edit it the way I need it to be, so I can show it the way I want to show it. So I use iMovie.
Mm-hmm.
I click on iMovie this morning. It's taking forever to load up. So I'm like, all right, maybe it just needs an update, or maybe it's updating or something. So I went on to other things. And I'm about 10 minutes later, go back to my computer, and there's the iMovie. It's it's there now, but I want to make sure I describe this right. So a few years ago, my computer didn't. It was the weirdest thing. I have like 1,000 photos on my phone. So one night I hooked up the phone to the computer. I was gonna move all the pictures over, and it's 1,000 pictures. So I knew it was gonna take a long time. So I left it overnight. Got up the next morning, and I don't know what happened, but like everything on the computer changed. Like things were all the settings were different, and my photos and my iMovie was like practically wiped out on the computer. So which I never figured out what happened. Okay, never figured out what happened. So iMovie in particular, I mean, I still had the actual movies that I made, the files, because they move. You can move them to a different file, like a different place, like a download file or whatever. You follow me so far?
Yeah,
I feel like I'm losing you. Okay. So I still had those finished products, those finished files in a folder. But the iMovie program itself, the raw footage was all gone. It was completely gone. I had to start new. So this morning, you still with me?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. This morning, when I come back to the iMovie, I sit down at the computer and I open it up. It's all there. This stuff I haven't seen in years is there. But the stuff that I have put on iMovie since then was gone. So basically, I had nothing on my iMovie later than 2022. And I was like, how the hell did this happen?
So what did it go for 2 years?
I have no idea. So I closed it. I quit it. I closed it out. Waited 5 minutes, turned it back on. Same thing. It had everything from 2022 and beyond. Had nothing from 23, 24, 25. Nothing. I was like, what the? So I was like, all right.
Wow.
I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, man, I don't know, maybe I'll shut the computer off and restart it and see what happens, which I haven't done yet. But I was like, all right, Bobby knows a lot about this stuff. I'll ask Bobby. But you don't have an answer for it.
No, I have a really good answer.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It is a good answer.
I like that answer.
You know what my answer is, honestly, though? It's shit like that happens to me all the time.
Does it?
Yeah, it does.
Because I have a buddy of mine who works for Apple.
Yeah.
And every time I call him with some weird, he says to me all the time, I don't know what you do to your computers.
I swear to God, things happen to me. My dad calls me, and it's just like, I'm on my computer, it's doing this. And I'll be like, I've been using Apples for how many years now? I have never heard of that happening before, not a single time, ever, not once. And but every time a client will call with a problem, or this will call, it's always something I have never seen. Every single time. And the only thing I can think of is that we are monkeys who figured out how to take rocks out of the ground and smash them up and put them together so that we can do shit with them that works somehow. And sometimes it just doesn't work. And that's the best answer I've got. Sometimes we don't know how it works. We just know how we got it to work the last time, and I can get it to work a little bit better this time, except then all that stuff disappeared, or this thing happened. And like, does anybody know what electricity even is? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we just know how to harness it and run it through some wires, and then I can talk into this thing, and the people wherever in the world can hear me speaking now. But how the hell does that work?
It brings it all full circle to this year, this day being the 7th anniversary of the show, because I push all these buttons. Well, I couldn't tell you a damn thing. I faked my way through this for 7 years.
Yeah.
I have fooled, somewhat have fooled.
You look like
everybody.
you know what you're doing.
I've learned, because I'm doing it every day, I've learned certain things, but like if this board right here, if something wasn't working on this board, I would have no idea.
Oh, you wouldn't.
I got a new iPhone once. This is years ago. I think when I went from the 4 something to the 6 something, and they couldn't back then. They had to use these giant things to connect the phones. Right? Remember, with the machine in the middle.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can never get this to work. And they were like, oh no, it goes like this, and it wouldn't work. And they had like 5 people come over, and all of them were like, nobody knows how this shit works. It just does most of the time. But when it doesn't work, everyone's like, yeah, I don't know. Let's pretend this is not a thing. Hang on, my daughter's texting me. I just want to make sure.
And what freaks me out is those people that are working on iPhone, all of a sudden it goes on fire.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the? Like, and I don't think that's. I'm sure some of the videos are fake, but that's not a fake thing. Like that actually does happen to people.
Does that really happen?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's not.
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's a real thing.
I guess. That's not something I hear about. I haven't. I'll get a client calling me. So my phone's in my pocket. It's on fire. Should I take it out?
I would say no.
Yeah,
no, don't take it out. It's safe there.
No, it's supposed to do that.
You actually have clients that will call you to ask you questions about their computer? Because that's not what you do.
When I started my business as web design,
right?
Everyone's like, oh, web design, that's on computers. I have a Windows 95 machine. How do I I'm like, I'm on Mac. Right. It took me so long to train my clients to understand that I don't know how to fix your computer. I don't know anything about your computer. I barely know how mine works. And like, I know how to do what I do.
Right.
But when I have to go and do a new thing that I've never done before, I don't just innately know how to do it. I have to Google it. I have to watch videos about it. I have to learn how to do it. And so I've had clients that say, I've literally had clients. It's been a long time, but I've had clients that have asked me, "How do I Google blah blah blah?" I was like, "How do you Google it?"
How do you Google it?
I had somebody ask me that once, but a lot of times people will ask me questions like, "How do I do this?" or "How do I do that?" I will Google it. I will copy paste the answer, and I will email it to them. And I do that. I do it all the time.
No, that's nice of you.
And because it's, I understand their point. These are not stupid people. These are extremely smart people, but they are wrapped up in their world, which has nothing to do with computers or their phones or anything like that. They're just a necessary tool that they need to use. And when it's not fucking working, they immediately are seeking help. So I've learned that by giving that help, I endear myself to them as best I can.
But then it's not stupid people, it's old people.
Well, age, yeah.
They kill me. They drive me. Like my mother, like she'll say, I saw it on the internet. It's like, all right, but where? She says, well, I put it in. I was like, put it in where? I saw it on the internet. What website? She can't tell me. It's like, come on now. Like,
my dad's better than that, but my dad gets problems with his computer that I've literally never heard of another human being have that problem before, and it's that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And he always says to me, he's like, I know what you're going to say, and he goes through the whole thing, and he said, and now you're going to say, I don't know. Because I don't know. Right. I don't know. I literally don't know. And it's not because when shit like this happens to me, I go, fuck. And I'm going crazy, except I don't have a Bobby to call. I'm the one. I'm the guy.
You got a Bobby?
I'm the one everybody calls. So I'm like, hey, me? What the fuck is going on here? I don't know.
Third base.
I don't know.
And then I got to figure it out.
That's what I said.
That's what he was doing before. When I said Hughes.
I was giving you the lead.
I already took it, though. That's my point. I already said it.
Yeah, but I couldn't give you the lead again. Maybe the viewers didn't.
No, you're in trouble, and I'm going to tell you why. You're a big Rodney Dangerfield fan.
By the way, we never got to the Star Wars thing, and I don't know if you wanted to get to that today.
What Star Wars thing?
You said, don't talk about that.
Oh, yes. All right. Let me finish this, and we'll get to it. We still have a little over 10 minutes. You're a big Rodney fan, yes?
Yes.
You consider yourself a big Rodney fan?
I do.
Okay. You and I had a discussion last week on this show about pertaining to Rodney.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
About being on Johnny Carson?
No.
Well, because Johnny Carson would give him a lot. He would give him a lot of lead-ins.
No, that's not what I'm talking about at all.
Just tell him what you're talking about.
I'm going to have to, apparently.
No, I was doing.
I don't get no respect.
Oh, that. Oh, you're talking about the English language.
We had a discussion where that's not what Rodney say. That he actually said, I get no respect.
Yeah, I don't get no respect. I don't get respect.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. It turned.
He doesn't say don't.
Well, he does. It turned. I need to retract what we did last week and apologize. We went on this whole big thing.
That was correct.
Yes, somebody put in Kew Gardens. Somebody painted this thing on the side of a building, Rodney's face, and then they wrote, I don't get no respect.
Yeah.
And first of all, this painting was terrible. But then that saying, I thought it was, I get no respect. But I watched, so
he said different things. But his biggest was, I don't get any respect at all. That was his biggest one. I don't get any respect at all.
I watched. So my brother contacted me and said, "No, Rodney used to say I get no respect at all.
I don't.
I don't get no respect." Just like the painting said. So I went on YouTube. I found 3 different, might have even been 4 different videos where he is saying, I don't get no respect. I'm like, oh shit.
But what did the mural say?
The mural said, I don't get no respect.
That's all it said. It didn't say at all.
No.
It just says I don't get
no respect.
I don't get no respect.
And and that's what we were saying. Like, he didn't talk like that. He didn't say that.
Oh, and I thought I was a big fan.
And that's why I'm yelling at you, because you're definitely a bigger fan than me. I should have known it too, but I just want to blame you. So yeah, you should have known that. So you're in trouble.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. So Star Trek. So you got Star Wars. You said so we were talking before we went on the air. You mentioned that you and your son, have like bonded over Star Wars, and you went back and you're watching them all over again.
Yeah.
All right, and that's where I stopped you.
Right.
Because I find it the Star Wars.
I mean, everything.
Right.
The shows, the everything.
Star Wars, I find very intriguing.
Yeah.
Because in the late 70s, early 80s, when we were, at that perfect age for something like that, Star Wars, New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. Thanks. Those movies. Well, actually, I'm not a big fan of Return of the Jedi anymore. At the time, though, those movies were awesome, especially New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. What great movies!
Yeah.
But Star Wars as a whole, it's very interesting to me because the bulk of of everything. Again, we're talking everything. All the series, all the movies that have come out, the bulk of it sucks.
Yeah.
But yet, if you're a fan, you keep going back for more.
Okay.
Do you not agree?
I used to would have just agreed with that on principle.
Okay. But
as I'm watching more of it,
yeah,
I'm I'm disagreeing with it for a couple of reasons. One is it's connecting me and Luke in a way that nothing else is. You know?
Yeah.
And it opens
That's
up.
a whole different level, though.
Yeah,
I'm just talking about the movies
We're talking
themselves.
about the content.
Right.
There's this show, The Acolyte, which I was just like, you didn't need to make that show. We were all very happy without that show, and that was 8 or 9 hours that I'm never getting back.
The Han Solo movie.
It wasn't terrible, but it just wasn't necessary.
Right.
The Han Solo movie was like,
it's a waste of time.
Let's figure out what the Kessel Run is. It's like, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
We like the debate. You know what I mean? And we don't need you to tell us the answer.
Right.
And but I didn't hate Solo. I didn't hate it.
Ooh, hated it.
There was a lot of things. Rogue One I liked.
Oh, that's one of the best ones.
Love Rogue One.
Love Rogue One.
Love Rogue One.
Yeah.
Still don't really like the prequel trilogy.
No, not really.
I watched them
Yeah.
and I'm just like, I'm
Yeah.
watching them to remember so I can talk about it and get into the other things.
But some of those prequel series have made those prequel movies better.
Yeah, that's what Luke told me. And he said, he's
Luke
like,
is your son?
my son. I'm sorry, yes.
That's okay.
You gotta, Luke is my son. You gotta,
Luke,
watching.
He is your father.
I named him Luke for that reason. And that when he was born, I went to one of your shows to film it, and your brother Frank was there. And Luke was just born. And I said, hey, I heard you had a son, he said to me. I said, yes. And I named him Luke so I could say, Luke, I am your father. And without missing a beat, Frank just said, of course. And we just kept right on going. And when he was in Little League, I was his baseball coach.
Right.
And
I remember
anytime he got a hit or he had to run or anything, I would always yell out, run, Luke, run. I would do it every
that's funny.
time. And I was like, I wonder if anybody knows what I'm doing. But
Right.
it made me happy.
That's why I couldn't name my son Luke, because with last name Walker,
Yeah.
he would not have survived elementary school.
Yeah, no, Luke Walker would have not been good.
Yeah.
But
That would have been brutal.
except the line actually is, no, I am your father, not Luke, I am your father.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right.
really?
I didn't know that until after, and I went, damn it, that ruins
And
the
then
whole
Luke
thing.
said, I don't get no respect.
So yes, but we were talking about like the whole prequel era and how the Clone Wars animated series
Yes.
is in between the second and the third movie, and he just finished it, and he said to me, he's like, it makes it so much
Yes.
more
The Clone Wars was awesome.
meaningful. It was so good.
Yep.
And this just happened yesterday. He said to me, he's like, what would I have to do to get you to watch the Clone Wars? I said, ask. What do you think about? What would you have to do to get me to? I was like, well, this is our thing. We're talking about all this stuff. He said, oh, really? I thought you were going to say no. I was like, no.
Was that Luke? Is that what Luke
That's
sounds
what
like?
Luke's. That's how, oh, really?
Like David and Goliath.
Yeah.
But
That's
Daddy.
That's.
Oh, what's the Clone Wars, Daddy?
That's what he sounds like, dude. Are you making fun of him? What the fuck?
I have a big admission.
You have not seen any of them?
He doesn't like it.
No, it's not that I don't like it. No, like Darth Vader. I mean, obviously, who doesn't like Darth Vader?
Best on-screen villain ever.
Yeah.
All right, who's above Darth Vader?
In that type of
On-screen
In
villain.
in anything.
That
On-screen
kind of
villain.
content. What does that even mean?
No, like
A
Star
villain!
Wars, a fantasy type thing.
Any on-screen villain.
Sauron,
What's that?
Lord of the Rings.
No, you're wrong.
You are objectively bad at knowing things.
You don't even know who that is.
I don't. I've never seen it.
You never saw it?
No, I have no interest.
Are you a fan of the Lord of the
Nah,
Rings?
not really.
You're not?
I'm more a sci-fi fan
You're a
than a
sci-fi.
fantasy fan.
Gotcha.
So I've seen the movies.
Yeah.
The Lord of the Ring movies probably twice. The trilogy, I've seen it twice.
Yeah.
I never saw the Hobbit movies. Never read the books. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
You know.
And maybe that's what it is for me. I believe I've watched all the Star Wars. Are you paying attention?
Yeah, I am.
But if
And I
somebody
know
said
what
I'm
you
more
said.
into fantasy than sci-fi, I would totally get it.
Yeah.
You know, they're
Yeah.
wrong, but I would get it.
All right. So you guys have been watching. You've been
Well,
going
this
through
was
everything.
just yesterday, so I'm going to watch the Clone Wars. I've seen Clone Wars, and
Great.
it's really good.
Yeah,
but
it
he's
is.
telling me about it. He's like, you don't understand. It makes
Yep.
this part make
Yes.
so much more sense. And
That's exactly what my son said.
And I'm like, okay, I
Yep.
want to, because I want
And
to
then-
enjoy it more.
And then after that is what, The Bad Batch, I think?
That I started watching.
That's awesome too.
It's really good.
Yeah.
You know, the first episode is like a movie.
Yeah.
It was excellent. I was like, this is great.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, that first episode of Clone Wars is a movie, but it's not good. He's like, you're going to have to sit through that. Sorry.
So
like, okay.
we did all that. We did all the Star Wars.
Yeah.
The last season of The Mandalorian was so bad.
I've only seen the first season of The Mandalorian.
Which is awesome.
It was great.
Great.
Have not seen
the second season.
Boba Fett show.
Boba Fett was so-so.
I saw Obi-Wan. I enjoyed it more than most people did.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed what they were trying to say.
Yeah, but
I've seen so many other amazing shows like Severance and Silo that I'm just like, dude, you could have gone this route with this and made it like 100 times better. But it was cool. I liked it.
Okay.
It was nice to see Darth Vader, and you
Yeah.
know, it was.
It's always cool to see
Vader.
Vader.
It's always cool to see Darth Vader.
Yeah. All right.
So I liked it,
Yeah.
but the Acolyte was just like.
So if they make a new Star Wars, who's gonna do that voice?
Darth Vader?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
someone's got to have
not Tony, because then it would just take years to get that on.
Hello.
Yeah, it would take a while.
I bet you they would use AI if they even bring them back. I don't even know if they're bringing them back
I
for
don't know
anything.
how much
but-
Darth Vader they have left to, because
Yeah, I don't
if
know
they
if
go
they-
into the future, he's gone, he's dead.
Right.
And if they do,
Have they ever gone back to his?
Yes, and
original
and
form?
James Earl Jones has
yes,
done it.
and
He's come out of
done it, yeah.
retirement
They
to
did
do
a
the
movie
voice.
in the middle. They
yeah.
did the Obi-Wan show is like 10 years between the prequels and the
Yeah.
regular series, and he was right there. He did the voice for that, right?
I'm trying to think. I think there was one thing he didn't do it.
Because wait,
But then he did come back
'cause when
and
did
did
he
it.
die?
He just died. I don't even think it's
2
been a
years
year.
ago? Yeah, a year or two.
Is it that long ago now? All right. Okay.
Because Obi-Wan Kenobi is not that old. Like, is he in that? I didn't even.
Oh,
check.
I believe it is him.
Yeah.
If I remember
I know
right.
he was in Rogue One. I know that.
Yeah, don't hold me to this, but I think there was one thing he didn't do, but pretty sure everything else is him. I'm not positive
If
on that.
only there were a
You're
way
right, it was
to
only-
like do a search.
It was only
of some
7
kind.
months ago he died.
Oh,
7
yeah,
months. So
yeah.
so then he was around for the Obi-Wan thing.
Tony's real name is Sky. Yes. Let me let me read these comments and then we'll call it a day here. Let's see.
This podcast is objectively bad.
Is that a Star Wars thing?
No, that's the thing somebody said about my music. The comments I got.
Oh,
You are
objectively.
objectively bad
Yes.
at music. I was
Yeah.
like, objectively? I mean, dude.
Fremder says, I don't know how to use a computer, but I do know how to spell the word tits.
That's pretty funny.
In the spirit of climate change, says Scott, the podcast should follow farmland protocol. Time to give it a rest. Whoa, easy.
Wow.
Jeez. GD says, I used to say to my daughter, I don't know, but we'll find out together. Oh, very nice. Climate change, otherwise known
I'm not
as...
saying that to my dad.
Yeah.
I'll find out and call you back is what I usually say.
If the earth could speak, it would say, I get no respect. That's funny. If you spell your first and last name backwards, and it's your Star Wars name.
Oh, I know mine. Now Pack Leachum. I've done it. Yeah.
Star Wars as a whole, I guess you could say my favorite is The Return of the...
Mine's Bob.
Yeah, true. Kenny says we should watch Dr. No. Isn't that...
That's James
Bond, yeah.
Did he mean Doctor Who?
I don't know. Dracula was the best, says Rusiello.
Well, Dr. No was a great villain. Maybe that's what
Oh, that's what. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, and then he sang Lex Luthor. Right. So
Yeah.
that's what he means.
Yeah.
Better villains than Darth Vader? I don't know about that. John and Anna saying goodbye to each other. GD James Earl Jones signed a deal where the franchise can use his AI voice in perpetuity. Oh, I didn't. Is that true?
Perpetuity.
Lil Mo Mozzarella is in the new Star Wars. I don't get that. Lil Mo Mozzarella, he's a what do they call him, like influencer or one of those. He's all over TikTok and Instagram. He was just on last night. He was on Hershey and the Keegs right here on Go's Comedy Club podcast.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't know what that means. Why he's in the new? Is he really in? Is there a new Star Wars? I don't get the joke. Sorry. I think I just told the story yesterday, but I'll tell it again. talking about bonding with your kid, which is great, by the way. I'm sure you're loving every second of it.
I do. Yeah.
When I was,
but it's also Star Wars, so it's like a double.
Exactly.
Like it could be anything, you know.
Right. My son and I, we did that with Star Wars.
Yeah.
And we also do it with Marvel. And I'll admit, I enjoy watching the movies and the shows. I don't get so into it that I know who's this one and what this means, but I enjoy it. Plus, I'm doing it with him.
Yeah.
And they've become too. They're at the point now where it's almost an equal 50-50 of what sucks and what's good. They should really, take a good look at themselves. But Luke Cage. Did you watch Luke Cage?
No, that's the one you were in.
Right. Well, that's
you were the co-star.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the story because I didn't tell him that I did it. So I didn't know when it was going to be on, or who knows, we might not even make it.
They'd even put you in it.
We're watching the very first episode of it. Sure enough, the last 5 minutes, there it is, and it's clear as day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
I've seen the scene.
Yeah,
but I never
and you're
watched
able
the
to
show.
you're able to
it
tell
was
immediately.
Absolutely you. Yeah.
But
ruined the whole thing for me.
But he wasn't. He was watching the main action. I'm just in the background moving food. So he missed it. So the show ends. I was like, "What'd you think?" And he starts talking about, well, this and this one said, and this one's a crossover. I was like, No. What did you think of that last scene? What are you talking about? Showed it to him again. He missed it again. I was like, really? You didn't see what was going on back there? Put it on a third time. I go, look in the back. And he was, I think, 15, 16 at the time when that show started. He literally jumped out of his seat, and he was like bouncing all over. He just couldn't believe it. And it was like you can't.
That was it.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than
they
that.
They could have
really.
made me pay them to be in it. That would have been worth
Absolutely
it. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
And then the next episode I was actually in too.
They probably did make you pay to be.
Yeah. Well, that's when I strip. I have to pay people. Yeah. All right. It is. Yeah, we're definitely running late here, so it's time for us to go. Once again, our 7th anniversary. Thank you guys for all the support.
Wait, you're not stripping though?
Well, I did a couple weeks ago. This is a bad story. Governors at the Brook, they have 3 clubs on the island. One of them is in Belmore. At the Belmore club, they have a glass case with Governor's merchandise.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking bad about the club. They're the first to admit it. They haven't sold anything out of this case in probably 18 years.
Wow.
Frisbees and everything's just sat there. So the girl who co-hosts with me on Friday, her name is Rosie. She's great. She went to one of the owners of the club. She's a comedian, and she went to. She saw in the case. The case has been there for so long, and everything. Nothing has moved for so long that it doesn't even register what's in there.
You don't even see it anymore, right?
But she noticed that was a pair of Governor's underwear in there.
I have an appointment.
So you're leaving?
I have to.
Oh, all right.
I didn't mean to.
That's all right. Because we're running late. We're gonna stop in 2 minutes anyway. So, but if you need to go,
I just wanted to.
If you need to go,
gently get your attention.
Okay.
Gently.
Okay.
Without breaking the flow of the conversation.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Bob. And I will never see you again.
Oh, promises. Appointment. Everything okay?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Good. All right. We'll see you next week. What? Those are some skinny jeans right there. Look at that.
No, they're not.
Well, look, you got a.
They're slim fit.
What?
What?
Goodbye, Michael. We'll see you next week.
Bye, folks. Great story, Bob. You should show him the video of your ball. Never mind.
Oh. No, yeah, nobody should see that.
So there's underwear in the case.
I thought he'd never leave. So she tells the owner that she wants it. He gives it to her.
I thought that was him laughing out there.
It's not that funny. So she brings the underwear in. Now, John Rusciello, who watches the show, who called in before, he puts in the comments that he will donate $200 to the Nassau County PEL Special Needs Unit that I'm the president of. He will donate $200 to that organization if I put the underwear on. And he said, not just over your pants. He goes, put it on
strip
as
and put it on.
underwear.
Yeah.
So I did. I put it on, and I didn't realize until I put it on that it was like a size small for children sizes. I mean, it was like I was like losing oxygen. So I put it on. I come over, and I'm in front of the camera, and I'm showing everybody, look, here I am in this stupid underwear, and Rosie's sitting right next to me, and all of a sudden, my left ball pops out. And I didn't even know. Rosie's like, like she immediately turns around. She's like, and then I realized, I'm like, oh shit! And I ran out from behind. I ran out of camera view, and then immediately put my clothes.
Was that
back
all
on.
you had on? Was the underwear
and my shirt? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He said you have to put it on like underwear, not over your clothes. Like you have to wear.
Yeah.
So for them to see it, I had to, just. And I was standing right here. I'm standing right here like this, and then all of a sudden, I was like, oh goodness. Yeah, it was gross.
I was doing a live once where I had my big camera.
Yeah.
And the camera battery died.
Oh,
because I didn't have it plugged
sucks.
in. And my computer switched to my webcam, which was all the way down here, and was pointing right at my crotch. And I would put on like a nice shirt, but wear shorts. And so all of a sudden, you could just see my legs in these shorts, and I'm looking at the screen like, shit.
Well, at least you had the shorts on.
No, I wasn't naked or anything like that, but it was.
Remember that guy during the pandemic? He was having a Zoom meeting at work, and he stood up and you saw his cock or something like that.
He started masturbating.
Oh, that was it. Right. Yes.
He thought he was off camera.
Right. Well, how about that guy that was doing a live and he had no sound? You remember that?
How about the guy that had the cat face the whole time on like a court live? He's like, I'm sorry, Your Honor, I'm not trying to disrespect you. I don't remember the sound one, so I skipped it.
Oh, no, the sound, that was you. That's why.
Oh! That was great. Oh, man, do you have that video of what you did?
Yeah, so what I did after the fact, because you were...
That's one of the funniest things you've ever done. I forgot about that.
Well, first off, let me say, I can't tell you how many times in here, whether it's this show or one of the other shows that I'm engineering, and I forget to hit the button so that the sound is on.
Yeah.
And there's been several shows.
I forgot to turn on the mic, and I went for a good 2 or 3 minutes.
I've done almost 10 minutes on a few shows in here, and I feel terrible. I'm like, all right, so do an hour starting now from when I realized the sound wasn't on. So I turn... Oh, it's awful. But yeah, you did. Bobby was doing one of his lives on Facebook, and it went on for about, it was at least 2 minutes.
At least 2 minutes. It could have been 3 or 4. I don't think it was 5 or 6. But
No, I think it was 2. So, and then he realized it and he fixed it and did, his 20, 30 minutes, whatever he used to do. So then I took the 2-minute video, the first 2 minutes with no sound, and I then just
overdubbed it,
some sound, and I basically was pretending to be Bobby, and I was pretending, I was trying to match the words to his lips, and it was kind of so
awesome. It was the funniest thing. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. It was so great because then I reacted, and you made up what I was reacting to.
Right.
I loved it.
Yeah, I got.
We have to find that.
After Tony wore the underwear, more donations came in for him to get dressed. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I'll give 300 if you never do that again.
Oh, Scott. He says skinny jeans. That's the only thing skinny on him. Easy. Wow. All right. So, planetbonehead.com?
Yeah.
Best way to, best place to go, or should they go to social media?
If anybody wants to contact me about it, the best place is my LinkedIn profile.
Oh, okay.
It's on planetbonehead.com, because how do you give somebody your LinkedIn? It's Bobby Donohue, but, so if you go to planetbonehead.com and there's a LinkedIn button on the bottom, you can click that. That's like if you wanted to message me and talk to me about it.
Right. And I'll just quickly mention, too, web design. He's a master at it. The Gov's Comedy Club podcast website and the Knockem Dead Comedy website is the work of his genius. And we just redid the Knockem Dead Comedy website, and I love it.
We have to show you how to do the calendar. I forgot about that. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Yeah. I forgot to. There you go. All right. It's time for us to get out of here. GD, I once did a live show.
It's GM.
What did you say, GF?
GM.
I did a live one. Our show. What? I did a live on our show and forgot to hit go live. I also did a 2-hour done way past funny and forgot to hit record. Oh, that's awful.
That sucks.
I've done that. I forgot to hit record.
I would always
but
say
at least
that
it was live, so I can download it.
if ever I recorded something with a client, I'd have them all set up and everything. They'd go through the whole thing, and when it was all done, I'd be like, "Great, now let's record it." And they go white, like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yes.
It's my favorite joke in the world because nobody appreciates it but me.
There was a time. Sometimes I'd have trouble if I'm Zooming with somebody. I can hear them, but the people watching couldn't.
Yeah.
And I would say to them, and then but I'd be recording on Zoom also because Zoom was picking it all up. So I would say to them, okay, just hang tight, and I'll repost it later with the Zoom video. And there's been plenty of times I go later, and it turns out I didn't record it on Zoom, so I had nothing.
Yeah.
And I have one comedian. He's a national headliner. Modi is his name. He did an interview with me on Zoom in here.
Mm-hmm.
We had a great interview, and he's a national headliner. In fact, he played some pretty big places. And then he contacted me after. What a great interview! He goes, "Can I get a copy of that?" And I had to tell him the news. I'm sorry, I don't have it. He goes, "What do you mean you don't have it?" He goes, "It was live." I said, "Yeah, your audio wasn't working." The man still. That was probably 3 or 4 years ago. The man to this day, he still will not talk to me. Yeah. I know. So I feel bad. All right. Planet Bonehead. Thank you, pal. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
as always.
great.
Good to see you. Let's see. So today is Wednesday. What do we got? Circling the Drain tonight at 7 o'clock. Tomorrow morning, Coffee with the Dog. And then we're back here. You got to go?
I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Okay. Coffee with the Dog tomorrow at 9 a.m. 11 o'clock tomorrow, I'll be on. Frank will be here. Frank will actually be back. Diane will be back tomorrow. And guitarist, singer Dave Soul will be here. It's his birthday. So we're going to hang, and him and Diane are going to sing together. I'm sure Frank's going to join in. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then tomorrow, and I think that's it for Thursday. Oh, Sports Bash, of course, tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And then that's it for the day. Nothing tomorrow night. So keep it tuned in at Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. Yes, Scott, Joe Cocker does need to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Don't get me going. You and Charlie are killing me. Okay, Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. Once again, we ask that you share our shows. Tell everybody you know about all the great shows here at Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. We do have a lot of great shows. Hope you caught Hershey and the Keeks last night. Great as always. And, of course, Governor's Comedy Clubs. Some of the comedians you'll see on a Governor's stage this weekend: Mark Vieira, Cypher Sounds, Terry McNeely, Nicole LaMonaco, Mike Tanzi, Natalie Goggin, Saku Ali, Fat J, Antonio Clark, A.G. White, Caitlin Palufo, Corey B., and, of course, don't forget the Palma Show that I've been telling you about. Punchlines for Palma. It's a fundraiser for Palma. Great comedian from the Long Island, New York City area. She's got a cancer battle going on. So on Sunday, the afternoon of Sunday, March 23rd, there's going to be a fundraiser here at the main club, and we're going to do something in here as well. So, so hope you can help us out with that as she battles her cancer, and we wish her all the best. And I think that's everything. Once again, just want to say thanks. 7 great years for the most part. It wasn't always great, wasn't always perfect, but you guys have stuck by, and you guys are the ones who make this show. Without your, without your input, without you guys, you guys feed me stuff to have fun with. So I appreciate everything, all the support. I appreciate all the comedians like Jay who called before, all the comedians that have come in, all the guests, all the people that try to help out any way they can, all the co-hosts, all the guests. It's been a fun ride. Some of the, great local comedians, some big headliners, some nationally known people like Kevin Pollak, Bill Champlin, who used to be in the band Chicago, Ray Abruzzo, who played Little Carmine on The Sopranos. Just people I never in a million years thought I'd have the chance to talk to and have some laughs with. So, all right, with that, govs.com to check out the full schedule of the club and get yourself some tickets. Gov's Comedy Club Podcast, and, of course, knockemdeadcomedy.com, which this guy Made the
I'm
website.
back.
It's a quick pee. Yeah, go to knockemdeadcomedy.com to find out information on how you can hire us for your event, your fundraiser, your private event, your corporate event, whatever you got going on. Murder mysteries, game shows, all sorts of fun stuff. Our next public show is in Freehold, New Jersey on April 26th. So you got some time. And I'll post the info once I get it. All right, that's it. We're out of here. Thank you again, pal.
Thank you.
And thanks to Mike, who we'll see you again next Wednesday. And you guys have a great day, and we'll see you later. See ya.